inverse mapping is the last one, which is what we are going to be looking on now. Inverse mapping. When we have a function which map is set x to y, then the inverse will be that function that is mapping what? Y back to x. And we denote that one as f inverse. And when you look at this example given to us here, we said that if the elements of x are 1, 3, and 5, and the element of y are 25, 1, and 9, you can see from here clearly that 1 was mapped to 1, 3 was mapped to 9, and then 5 was mapped to 25. That means for the inverse case, it means that 25 will be mapped back to 5, which is what is happening here. Then 3 will be mapped back to what? 9. 1 will be mapped back to 1, and then 9 will be mapped back to 3, which is what we are having here. So this is how we illustrate inverse mapping. So we have two conditions for us to know if a mapping or a function is going to be having an inverse. The two condition is, I will say that what? A function or mapping can only have an inverse if it is 1-to-1 and onto mapping. A function or a mapping can only be having an inverse if that mapping or function is 1-to-1, at the same time it is what? Onto. What do you say about 1-to-1 mapping? We say 1-to-1 mapping has all the elements under the domain as different images of the what? Codomain. And then for onto, we said that what? All the codomain are images of an element of the domain. And when we check this given example, you can see that that is happening here. All these are having different images here, and then all of the images here as well, they are still the what? The codomain. They are the set of elements in the codomain. In that case, this kind of mapping will have an inverse. So now, how do we find the inverse of the mapping? Let's look at some examples, and then we shall solve as well. So, example number 1. So now this is the question we are going to be looking on to today. It says that what? Given that f of x is given to be x plus 2/3, and then we are meant to find the inverse of f. The inverse of f. After finding it, we say we should show that what? We should show these composite mappings are equal. That is, the f of f inverse of x is the same thing as f inverse of f of x. Now let's take it one after the other and solve. The first one, we are looking for, we were given f of x to be x plus 2/3. Now what we are going to do is that what? You can just let y to be equal to f of x. Now what does that mean? You'll be having y equals to x plus 2/3. So when you're having this now, remember that our input is x. We now want to make that input x to be the output now. That is, we are going to take x out. and take y inside, so that this one will now be the inverse. Once x is out now, it will stand as the what? Output. And then this y will now turn to the input, which is what we are meant to do. So now we are making x the subject from here. What's the first step we need to take? We cross multiply. Y we multiply 3 here, or we multiply 3 by both sides, so that this will be what? Be on the straight line. So now 3 multiplying y will give us 3y equals to x plus 2. Now by rearranging, that we'll be having x plus 2 equals to 3y. And taking plus 2 to the other side, it will make me to have x equals to 3y minus 2. So now since I'm having x equals to 3y minus 2, remember that this one now is now the inverse, because it was inside before. This means that what am I going to have? Sorry. What I'll be having now is that that x will now be my f inverse of x. So in that case, I'll be having f inverse of x to be equals to 3y minus 2. Then the next thing I will do, remember that we are working with x, not y. That means this y will be changed back to x. So I'll be having 3x minus 2. And that will be what we are going to have now. I hope that's clear enough. So this is what we are having now, 3x minus 2 as the what? Inverse of what? X plus 2 over 3. Now the second question said we should check if these two composite markings are equal. So now let's check. First of all, let's look up for f inverse of x. This will be f of, what's the f inverse of x? This is what we have here, 3x minus 2. So we are looking for f of 3x minus 2. Now what does that mean? Anywhere I'm seeing x under f of x, I will put this value. Now let's do that and see. This will give me x plus 2. Instead of writing x plus 2, what will I write? I will have 3x minus 2 plus 2, right? This plus 2 was the one in the formula. This x is the 3x minus 2. Everything over the 3 here. So this will give me what? Minus 2 plus 2 will give me what? 0. So I'm having 3x over 3. Then 3 will take care of 3, right? And then in that case, my answer is x. Now let's look for what? F inverse of f. If we are going to have the same thing. So now the second one, f inverse of f, that will be f inverse of, what's the value of x? We have x plus 2 over 3. The value of f is x plus 2 over 3. Now let's continue from here. So now, f inverse of x plus 2 over 3, what does this mean? Under f inverse of x, we have 2x minus 2. This means that anyway we are seeing x now, we are going to be putting what? X plus 2 over 3. So now, let's see what we are going to have now. That will be equals to, inverse was 3x, that will be 3. Instead of writing this x now, I will now put x plus 2 over 3. That will be x plus 2 over 3. Then what are we having outside? Minus 2. Minus 2 will still come here. I hope this is clear enough. So now, opening the bracket, this 3 will take care of this and left with Number 2 now. If h of x is x squared plus 1 and g of x is given to be 2x minus 5. Now the question said 1. Find, give inverse of x, and then 2. Show that, what are we showing? F g of x inverse is equals to g inverse of f inverse of x. So now by God's grace, I will do the first one. I will like you guys to try and check this second one if actually they are going to be what? Equal. Now let's try and do that quickly. So we have g of x. We are going g of x to be 2x minus 5. Now we want to look for the value of what? G inverse of x. The first thing I say we should do is what? Make this one to be equated to y. That means I'll be having y equals to 2x minus 5. Then the next step is to make the x inside as the subject now. So that will be giving me 2x equals to y plus 5, right? Then I will divide both sides by 2. And x will now give me y plus 5 over 2. Now, what does this mean now? This x that is now outside is the inverse. So x means that what? This is inverse of x. So in that case, I will be having f inverse of x equals to y plus 5 over 2. And after that, we told you we are working with x, not y. In that case, I will change this y to x. And then, therefore, the f inverse of x equals to x plus 5 over 2. So let's now say, for instance, they ask